Okay, so I'm delighted this evening to be joined by Jennifer Parker-Lummis, soprano. We've got the Portsmouth Philharmonic rehearsing enthusiastically behind us, and that's because you've just been in a rehearsal. Portsmouth Philharmonic, we're playing with you at a concert at the Stubbington Community Centre, 7 p.m, Saturday the 27th of June. Tickets available from our website and from the montserratevents.co.uk website as well. So we're really looking forward to the concert. But we were talking earlier on, and you mentioned that you went to Bridgemere School, you now live in Fareham, and yet you're this fantastic soprano. So how did that come about?
Well, I've always been singing since I was very, very young. Back in those days, when you went to school, every morning you would have assembly where you would sing from the Common Praise books. And I was always clearly the one you could hear singing, actually belting out these fantastic songs that I think by the time you finished infant school, you knew them word for word. They were absolutely, blazoned on your memory for life. From there, I went to Bridgemere School, and the head of music there recognised my talent, but there was nobody there at my school to teach me, so she took me to meet the head of music at Broome Park, Miss Winters. And she gave me singing lessons. She put me through all my associated boards of the Royal Schools of Music, singing exams. And she got me a place to study music at South Downs College. And then I went on to study classical voice at the Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama in Cardiff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know that well, actually. I've seen one or two concerts there.
Oh, really?
Indeed. So, yeah,
It's very fancy now, considering when I was there.
It's very posh, very posh, curvy, very, very nice indeed. Well, so now I think you kind of described yourself as a freelance singer, but what you've still got aspirations, I think, though, haven't you?
I have, yeah. I mean, they say that in this day and age that women can have it all, and yes, we can, but it is very difficult to raise a family and try and have a full-blown singing career. I mean, I'd love to be sort of off, singing with orchestras, singing with opera companies. And now my children are older, that's certainly something I'm all looking forward to now. My dream is to be doing sort of cruise ship flyouts, be singing with orchestras full time. That would be incredible. I'd love to do that.
Yeah, quite. Well, we could pass on your details if anybody's watching who can do that. So, obviously, you do a lot of singing with backing tracks, I think you kind of said, but this is a live concert with an orchestra. What does that bring to the mix?
Yeah, it's a very different technique of singing with an orchestra compared to how it is singing with a backing track. Obviously, generally backing tracks, you have microphones and things like that, and the backing track is always exactly the same, so I have to follow the backing track. With an orchestra, it's almost like a living creature. We have to work together to make sure we're all coming in at the right points. And technically their job is to follow me, help the conductor to follow me and lead the orchestra, which again in itself is a very different skill set.
No pressure.
No pressure, because if I start too fast,
So that will set them back a bit, won't it?
Yes, well, yeah.
But I think that's a creative tension. I think the orchestra relishes, the conductor relishes, but you relish as well, really, because it comes together.
It is, and it is amazing because obviously when I'm not singing, the orchestra take over, and there's even members of the orchestra playing certain instruments that take over solo parts during those things. So it's almost like a group effort to all bring this story together. And it's beautiful, just when I'm having that rest and we hear the violin come in, or, with the flute over the top, it's incredible for me. It's another level for a backing track.
And it is just that, it's that whole coming together, everything plays its part. It is, we've sort of played, the orchestra's played with for three or four concerts now, I think, in that way. So we, I think there's a bit of rapport there that's kind of been built up as well. But this particular concert, we've got one of our timpanists, Nathan. He's composed a piece that we built the concert around to a certain extent. So, what are you going to be singing in it?
So I'm going to be singing. So we start off with the Tales of Offenbach, which it first entails that I'm a robotic doll that Hoffman believes to be real because he'd been made to wear magic glasses.
Right.
And that's very much what they call a coloratura piece. And then the last piece is at the end of the opera, which is the Barcarolle, which is a piece specifically written for gondoliers to help them keep time as they go down the streets of Venice. And it's a very famous piece, so I know people will probably recognise it. We then move on to Madame Butterfly, which is an incredibly popular opera by Puccini. And it's the story of Cho-Cho's son, who's a 15-year-old Japanese girl, and it's about her hopes and dreams. She sings this beautiful aria, Un bel dì, which means one fine day. And then in the second part of the concert, we move on to some film music, to one of them being Titanic's Suite, and some bits that I come in and out of to create it's almost like the whole film score, but in a much smaller scale.
And I think your film music, it's quite an accessible form of classical.
It is, yeah. I mean, but back sort of, I suppose the times before TV, it would have been called incidental music. But there's so many things, like when you think of Disney's Fantasia, I saw that when I was a child, and it's incredible how they made these, animations come to life with classical music. And it's amazing how classical music brings the film to life. There's that meme that goes around Facebook, isn't it, where it's Star Wars at the end, where they come down the procession into the hall to receive their awards, and there's silence because there's no orchestra playing. And it's like, see, that
Doesn't work.
This is the big difference that orchestras make to films.
And I think we're not going to give much away, but the encore, or there's
an incredible encore. I'm very excited to be singing the encore. Yes.
Well, I think we'll kind of, Voyager gives a little bit of a clue, I suppose, but I think certainly for people of a certain age, and I'm of that age, I think it's something that we're really looking forward to. We've just heard a bit of it in rehearsal, and I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Jennifer, it's been a pleasure to interview you. We're really looking forward to the concert, and enjoy.
Thank you so much, Colin.
Thank you.